All right. Hi. Next question, last question for today is from Sylvia. Good morning, Sylvia. Hello from CSTAT. That's what the cool kids call College Station. Oh my gosh. The cool kids didn't tell me. Maybe I don't know any of the cool kids. Oh. 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 Oh well. Thanks for telling me anyway. Let's see. Today, a friend shared her theory on the future of COVID. Okay. She believes that people are exposed to small amounts of the virus without becoming ill. Ah, that sounds like asymptomatic infection, like in children. Let's see where this goes. Yeah. That over time they could build their immune system up to handle it. Ah, like iocane poison in The Princess Bride. Yeah, sure. Let's see. Kind of like exposing people to small amounts of an allergen and increasing it until they can tolerate it. That's the opposite. Yeah, okay. All right. And then it goes on to say, I keep thinking of War of the Worlds. I know everybody wants a War of the Worlds ending where, yeah, all of a sudden COVID's just going to topple over on its own, struck down by something else that we didn't even know was there. Yeah. Was- um, and then it also asks, was this the common cold to bats? Yeah, which one of so many. Yeah, you you don't know how many, but every kind of bat seems to have multiple strains of coronavirus in it, and yeah, we only know the tip of the iceberg. But let's go back and deal with the meat of this thing. So yeah, what we know is that in people who get mild infections, they generally make little to no immunity. And so it's not necessarily a matter that they build it up over time. It's just that their body finds another way to deal with the problem. And so they don't build immunity. It seems as though getting a really severe COVID infection will give you a much stronger immune response. Now, we don't know if getting something like a vaccine, if you were to vaccinate repeatedly, at least up to a certain point, you should be able to raise immunity until you get to whatever is the maximum level that you can get for that particular person, and it's going to vary from person to person for sure. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, no, that sounds different. The other thing that you mentioned, which is good, these things kind of go together, is what's called oral tolerance. And so this is one of the ways that they treat peanut allergies is by feeding you small amounts of peanut, yeah, in a controlled setting, with a little EpiPen or whatever right there, if needed. And then yeah, you're trying to build up oral tolerance. So there's actually an immune system that lives inside the gut, and if you bombard that immune system enough with the same thing, so if you were to eat spoon after spoon of delicious tree pollen every day, this would probably give you some kind of immune tolerization to tree pollen, which would mean that you wouldn't make all those antibodies that give you allergies and stuff like that. You would probably make T cells. And so if you ever got infected with a small tree growing out of your cell that made pollen, then your T cells would go nuts and they'd probably pound that thing into the dirt really fast, which is why we don't have any trees growing out of our intestines, which is a good thing, right? Yeah, it's a good thing. That's why people who grow up in an area sometimes will just over time build up, less allergy potential, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. For me, the allergies around here are real rough. Yeah, so those are the big parts of the answer. So we don't know about repeated dosing, but probably like microdosing with COVID. The thing is, this is a virus, and the virus will either not really do anything, in which case you'll shut it down and make no immune response, or a virus is kind of set up to turn one virus into 100 billion viruses over the course of a few days. And if it does that, then you're going to be in real trouble. And so I don't think there's any dose that would be reliably able to not give symptoms. And I think you would end up finding all the people that are going to be genetically predisposed to not making a good response to the virus, and you would end up killing those people or giving them really severe COVID. Yeah, so it's not a strategy that I would recommend. It's not a strategy that anyway that I think the science has anything good to say about. Yeah, yeah. If you can't say anything good, you don't say anything at all, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. The cool kids didn't teach me that. So yeah, yeah. Good thinking, though. I like it. Yeah, you're thinking in terms of immunology, and that's the right way to think about this virus. And yeah, there are so many what they call alpha and beta coronaviruses. SARS and SARS-2 are both beta coronaviruses. So's MERS coronavirus, but there's some other common colds that are alpha coronaviruses, and these things are all linked up with so many bat viruses. And basically, every time they do another study, anywhere in the world that they do it, and sample some bats, they find a boatload of new coronaviruses that nobody's ever heard of before. Yeah, they are just passed around among bats. We don't know if they actually make bats sick at all. They may be more like bat TTV, which is a virus that you and I and everybody has that doesn't seem to do anything to us, but it's totally there and we make vast amounts of it. Torquatino virus was one name of it. Transfusion transmission virus, I think, was the other name. I think they just settled on TTV. Yeah, or else you'll see it under one of those two names. But yeah, that's another topic for a different day. But it's an interesting one, I think. So yeah, lots of viruses out there. It's a world of viruses. They're all pretty cool to study, not so cool to get. Thanks very much for a great question and for telling me, yeah, that this is CSTAT. Yeah, now I know. I'm going to take that home with me. I'm going to use it. Thanks very much. It's Ask Dr. Ben.